Yeah, good morning. We're fine this morning.
Very well. Bright and beautiful.
Exactly.
I'm just like you.
And just like us too, Eshamomo. Don't let us put us. Don't let them put us.
Are you jealous, Ibrahim? Because I didn't mention your name.
No, I'm actually talking to Eshamomo.
All right, you can take it away now.
I think we have reasons to always smile.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the business of the day. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's show. And our focus is on our pressing issues affecting millions of Nigerians, and that is the 50% tariff increase for telecom operators in the country. The Nigerian Communications Commission had on Monday approved a 50% tariff increase for telecom operators in the country following calls by the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria and the Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria for an upward review of tariff. Telecom operators had asked for a 100% hike in tariff, citing operational and increments in other sectors like aviation and power.
According to the operators, tariff had not been increased in the sector for about 11 years, which is allowed to continue will impact the quality of service delivery in the country. But the National Association of Telecom Subscribers has faulted the move and threatened to sue. The association said, quote, "It is not it at all. It is so much for subscribers to bear. Already, we are grappling with a lot of things that are surrounding the business climate here. Fuel cost, electricity cost, and all that. You are now looking at telcos asking for 100%, and NCC now is granting them 50%. It is a no-no." End of quote. Now, before we bring in our guests, let's take you back to the report where the minister made the announcement on tariff increase on calls and data. And later on the show, we'll play up another report where the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy said the increase is due to global inflation. The report.
According to data from experts in the telecommunications sector, in January 2024, Nigeria accounted for over 205 million mobile connections, which makes up about 91% of the country's population. More data from November in the same year shows that the average daily consumption of data in Nigeria is 336 gigabytes per second, which is 39% increase from previous years. Despite this high use, telecommunication companies still face challenges ranging from inability to expand infrastructure, which is crucial for high-speed internet and seamless connectivity. With these, most telecommunication companies struggle to maintain the business. Stakeholders in the sector have now decided to meet the Minister of Communications in order to address these issues. The leaders want 100% increase on tariffs so they can meet up with global best practices.
We're also going to operate with a higher level of transparency. So when we do see these tariff modifications, it's also going to come with simplification. So every MNO or every...
The minister disclosed that the federal government aims to use the sector to boost the nation's economy.
How do we ensure that this sector can meaningfully continue to contribute to the development of Nigeria? So some of those things include implementing the executive order around ensuring that we can protect infrastructure, telecommunications infrastructure in the country, driving up significantly local content. But I think most importantly as well is ensuring the sustainability of the companies as well.
The minister also explained that with the increment of tariff, telecom companies will be able to cover remote area for connectivity.
So there are people that are responsible for ensuring that we have the right investments in the infrastructure that is powering your ability to use those connectivity. And the goal of Mr. President is to ensure that we continue to deepen those infrastructure, because you can't have a robust economy that doesn't have infrastructure.
TVC News went out to the streets to find out what residents think about the hike.
For the youths now, the most important thing that is sustaining them in this, able to subscribe their phones, doing other things that will yield their income.
It will affect us as a common people. So for me, as a person, it's not good. You should really look into the issue.
Government, if there's anything you can do to bring this down, I'm speaking on behalf of people. I know I'm speaking the mind of people right now. Please bring this down.
They say tax, implementation of tax that policy is Western, is European policy.
For such amount of tariff to pay, that's that kind of amount to pay for data bundles to promote their businesses and run adverts, it's really outrageous.
Some residents see the increase as unusual. Others welcome the idea as an improvement of services.
The cost of transmission will go up. So, it's more or less a private organization again. They need their profits to run it.
The federal government has urged Nigerians to key into this.
And joining us live to put more perspective on this is the National Commission on Nigeria Data Protection Commission, Dr. Vincent Olatunji. It's good to have you on the program this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. And also joining us in this discussion via Zoom is the President, Association of Telecom Companies of Nigeria, Mr. Tony Omakwere. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
So we'll begin with you. Telecom subscribers have outrightly rejected, this move to increase tariff on calls and data, but the regulatory agencies say this is absolutely necessary, and they have stated their reasons. But how do you justify, an increase in a service that, the consumers say they don't even get value for their money?
Well, I think we first have to commend the move by NCC and this government. This has actually been more than 11 years coming. And if you even look at the announcement from NCC, based on a study that was carried out in 2013. And considering that the study has been carried out since 2013, and it's within that study and the advice of that study that we're actually implementing it almost more than 10 years later, I think it's still commendable to regulators to have actually taken this bold step to even do this. It has been a clamor for many, many years. The sad thing is that decision has not been taken on this issue for quite a number of years. If it had been done and stepped up gradually, it wouldn't be seen to be so drastic. The reason why it appears to be drastic is because it has been held on for so many years. And don't forget, the pressures in the last 3 to 4 years have been tremendous on everybody in the whole sector as a whole. So what is the theme is sustainability. How do we sustain this industry? And if you don't have enough headroom on your investments and your operational costs, you cannot grow and you cannot invest in the sector. It's as simple as that. There's nothing anyone could have. If like you said in your opening, the clamor was even for 100%. So 50% is even, reasonable to a certain extent, and commendable that this bold decision has been taken at this time. And I think what we'll be talking about is how do we ensure that these issues don't drag on for this long so that the impact on the consumer is not that drastic.
Okay, just before I come to you in the studio, I still want to pick on Tony on this aspect. On one side is the need to increase the price because inflation has caught up with a lot of things. But do we also consider the rights of subscribers they deserve quality? A lot of time you have call drops, and a lot of time you buy data, for instance, and they say it will last for 1 month, and you get cut off. Where do we place the right of subscribers for quality service from these operators?
Well, the funny thing that a lot of subscribers might not know is that the regulator actually clamps on heavily on operators on quality of service. And what they're even talking about now is quality of experience. So there are several indices that the regulator measures continually on all operators, and they are being made to keep it. And they are being penalized when they don't make those KPIs, so to speak. So the main challenge has been that there has been an underinvestment, in the infrastructure that is needed to continually power these services. And it's because of the stagnation of tariffs over this certain number of years that we're talking about. Now that we have this cap and this increase, we are going to see more investments. It's not like the investment has not been going on, but it's not at the pace at which the consumer is growing. Don't forget, this is a growing nation. Our population is continually increasing. We have more and more people coming into the bracket where they can utilize these communication services. Businesses are expanding. The demand is continually increasing. And the infrastructure needs to cope with all that demand. And if you don't have enough funds and revenue to even keep your operations up, you have no area to invest. And that underinvestment has been the challenge why you see all these issues of, you see, poor quality of service here and there. But once we have this issue resolved, a certain influx of investment in the sector, and you will see more and more improvement. And don't forget, the NCC and the regulators, good to have one of them here, will explain to you that they actually penalize operators when they don't meet this quality of service.
All right, so we'll come back to you for your thoughts, but let's come to you, Mr. Vincent. As the National Commissioner for the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, Nigerians still deal with that data breach, the breach of their data, their privacy and all of that. How is your commission dealing with this issue?
Thank you very much. I think what is really important for us as a country is to look at measures that government has put in place to ensure that our personal data with data controller or data processor, that the data with them is actually adequately protected. And you will see that in the enactment of the Nigerian Data Protection Act by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the 12th of June 2023. And in this act, there are a lot of things that the act covers. For instance, the right of the data subjects, as you already mentioned, if you are subscribing to a telco, what kind of measures that have they put in place to ensure that your data with them is protected, and to ensure that there is that trust and confidence in our digital economy. More importantly, that we do almost everything online now. Small businesses that are coming up, the SMEs, the multinationals coming to do business here, to ensure that, yes, data subjects have rights which are adequately protected under the law. And related to the telecom sector, it's very the area of portability, that is moving your information from one telco to the other, and to ensure that the right of access, that is, you want to have access to your information in their database, that the data should be accurate, not, for instance, a male having you as a female in their database. These are things that government has put in place in the law to ensure that the data controllers and processors put in place these measures. And it speaks to the issues around accountability, duty of care, that yes, if you have my information with you, you are bound by law to ensure that you take care of the data and you are accountable for whatever happens to that data. And on the part of the data subjects, that is you and I, who are citizens of this country, what measures do we need to put in place to ensure that we don't just give our data out loosely to those who may not put in place measures to protect it? So, and that will be seen in the privacy policies of the different organizations that collect and process data, and, which will clearly state who they are, what to do, the kind of data they collect, measures that they put in place to protect such data. Are they sharing data with a third party or not? If yes, what kind of measures do they have, the people you are sharing such information with? And all these are in the law. Also, the area of cross-border transfer of data, because we talk of global competitiveness of our businesses. We are moving at the data of Nigeria from Nigeria to any country. What type of safeguards do they have in such countries to guarantee that, yes, the data you are moving there or you are storing there is safe? These are things that we have in the law. Okay. And with the law, we now have an independent data protection commission to enforce the law. There is one thing for you to have the law, it's a completely different thing to get the law implemented. Now, with the law in place and the NDPC in place, we've taken off fully, and we have been globally recognized as one of the best environments where data privacy is really thriving. Okay,
let me come to you with this again. In Nigeria, we have multiple fronts where that request for data of individuals. What is your commission doing to ensure that we have a centralized base? You go to road safety, they ask you for data. You want your international passport, they ask you for data. You go to the police, they ask you for data. You go to telecom, they ask you for data. How long will it take us to have a centralized base?
But before you answer that, we'll have to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.